Hi, I'm Carly and this is Farmer Analytics. Today's episode is going to be all about parasites in the winter. And we're going to take a look at a real sample under the microscope and check out those parasites that are still thriving in 2 feet of snow and 10-degree weather. My name is Carly and welcome to Farmer Analytics. Welcome to my channel where we are going to talk about raising livestock on my small farm. We're going to spend some time together in lab looking at animal parasites and really just enjoy talking about all the sciencey things about farming. Since this is my first video, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a mother, I'm a farmer, and I'm a parasitologist. I have a bachelor's degree in animal and veterinary science and a PhD in sustainable agriculture and food systems. I did my postdoctoral training with the USDA, and all my research has been focused on natural alternatives to parasite management. I farm on 10 acres and raise Katahdin sheep, Nubian goats, chickens, and livestock guardian dogs. I am based in northern Vermont, and the heart of Farmer Analytics is to provide farmers with the resources they need to be successful with parasites on their farm. We do fecal egg count testing, and we also offer livestock parasite management consulting. If you're interested in that, I'll leave the link in the description box for you to check out. Let's head back into the lab where it's warm, and let's check out a sample I got this weekend. So why did we care about this horse sample? Because it's the middle of winter in Vermont. It's been around 20 degrees every day. And you don't really think about parasites in this weather. Parasites are still important. They're still thriving. They're just waiting and living their best life inside of the animal. The good thing is we don't have to worry about reinfections, specifically for strongyl parasites, because there's no real grass to feed off of, at least not here. Other parts of the country, definitely. But in Vermont, we are just covered in a blanket of snow till March or April. But this horse sample comes from a local farmer, and let's take a look. Got a McMaster slide, and we're going to fill both sides of it. Put it on the microscope, and let's check out what's in there. All right, let's take a look together. Okay, here we go. We're looking through the sample. And there we are. Focus ourselves in. And we're looking at a strongyl egg. Now, a strongyl is a gastrointestinal nematode. And a strongyl can be anything from Homunculus contortus to Coperia to Esophagostomum. They are only really well identified if they are developed into larvae. So let's keep looking. And there's another one. Beautiful. And one more on the screen. Now, this horse sample came in the middle of January, and the final fecal egg count on this animal was 1,650 eggs per gram strongyl. Now, that means for every gram of feces that is deposited, you can expect 1,650 eggs to be deposited in that fecal matter. That's a pretty decent number of eggs, considering that it's the middle of winter. Okay, so why am I showing you strongyl eggs in a horse sample in the middle of winter? Well, there's 2 main thoughts here. The first thought is that some species of nematodes actually don't undergo hypobiosis, and some are just less likely to, and will still continue to develop and cause clinical signs in animals. The second thought here is that something triggered these parasites out of their hypobiotic state within this animal and are now contributing to clinical signs. The important piece here is to remember that This may only be a small portion of the worms that are affecting this animal, and that there may still be a population of worms that are still undergoing hypobiosis. Okay, so I keep using the term hypobiosis over and over again in this video. So for all you technical folks out there, let me read you the true definition of hypobiosis. Hypobiosis has been defined as the temporary cessation of development of nematodes at a precise point in early parasitic development when such an interruption contains a facultative element occurring in certain hosts, certain circumstances, or certain times of the year, and often affecting only a proportion of the worms. Okay, so for all you folks out there that all you heard was let's break it down together. So first of all, not all nematodes are going to undergo hypobiosis, and not all of them are going to undergo it at the same time. And those that do may do so at different rates. For example, in cattle, studies have shown the hypobiosis of Trichostrongylus axii does not occur at the same rate as it does in populations of Ostratagia. We also want to remember that hypobiosis is a mechanism of survival for these parasites in adverse conditions, meaning that if it's really cold out, that'll trigger them into hypobiosis in cooler regions, and in warmer regions, hot, dry conditions will also cause them to go into a hypobiotic state. And most importantly, we actually don't fully understand why these parasites are going in and out of their hypobiotic state. The factors that cause hypobiosis are not well understood, but we do know that they are related to ambient temperature and moisture. We also know that the factors that are related to resumed development are usually genetically predetermined and can be influenced by nutrition, parturition, concurrent infections, and host immune response. So one great example of this is here in the Northeast. We tend to see that flocks of sheep will undergo resumed development right around the periparturient period, which means right when their host immune response starts to change because of lambing, we start to see those parasites come back out of hypobiosis and start to clinically affect that animal. Knowing all this can be tremendously helpful when thinking about your flock, thinking about when to look for parasites, when to check for clinical signs. And it could also help explain some unexpected parasite issues that you might have just seemingly pop out of nowhere. Just remember that they're always there. They're really just waiting for the most opportune time for them, which is probably not the most opportune time for you and your livestock. I'd love to hear what kind of climate you're from, and if you've ever experienced parasites coming out of dormancy in your animals. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see you next time.